Hi, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
And we are Working Class Nerds.
We're the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. You can find our awesome podcast on Google Play, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. But you can also find us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814, and Nick is
at Nick Vern, so NickVern. And this week's episode, we're talking about Twitch streaming and podcasting and comparing the two. Our guest this week is Scrubland Shad. He plays Sotor, does ops, and is a Twitch streamer, which obviously we don't do, so it's important to have his input. Thanks for coming on the show. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you've been up to this week.
Hey guys, well thanks for having me, first of all. A little bit about me. I, as you guys mentioned, I play a lot of Sotor. I actually met Marcus through Sotor. Through Twitter, I think it was initially. We just kind of I think we shared a mutual appreciation of Darth Malgus.
Yes.
So there was a lot of liking back and forth. So I was like, I'm going to follow this guy. And then found out he had a podcast, started listening, and we just kind of met in the middle. I think through Brian, through Bad Feeling. But do what?
I was going to say, Brian is a love connector.
He is
a matchmaker.
He's that Lego piece. He's that male to male connector piece.
Yes.
The connecting dongle.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so we ended up doing we started doing ops together. I joined him on the Fun Feeling Mondays, and as of late, in terms of what I've been doing this week, I went and bought my Rishi Stronghold yesterday.
Whoa.
And unlocked that bad boy. And
the whole thing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
I've been saving up for it, and I wasn't able to tinker with it on the PTS, so I mean I dove in head first. I went ham. I unlocked everything, started running around, and it's really cool. The hut ball map on there is just, I'm a big hut ball guy, so I love it. I can't wait to start decorating it. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, it should be fun to do.
How many? So I know the Overlook section is, not. The Overlook section is like 120,000 credits or something like that. But how much does the actual Stronghold cost? Do you remember?
The Stronghold by itself, I believe, was 3 million.
30 million credits?
No, 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
But that's the initial unlock.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you got to unlock rooms and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think altogether, the total damage is something to the tune of 18 mil, a little less than 20 million.
Well, I do have that many credits, but not that many more.
Yeah,
maybe like 5 million above that.
Gee, yes, that's a lot more credits than I have. That's for sure.
That's great. What else have you been doing?
That's really been it. I recently just moved, so I have actually had to kind of put a pause on the streaming. I actually picked back up last week, but I recently moved to Austin, just so that I could be in close vicinity of that Darth Malgus statue at BioWare. No, that's
Is there really one there?
Oh yeah, no, they have got a huge Darth Malgus standee, I think in their shop or their lobby or something.
Really?
And, yeah. You haven't seen it? Oh, you got to look it up. It's there.
That's wicked cool.
Wow, no, it's very, very cool. But
so he's being held there in carbonite right now.
So that's where Malgus has been. For those of you wondering, that's why he's not in the game. He's currently selling shirts at BioWare's store.
You guys heard it here first. Everybody gets BioWare in Austin and
right
unfreeze Malgus.
Yes, hashtag unfreeze Malgus.
Hashtag free Malgus.
So so I know, what is your favorite thing to do in Sotor?
My favorite thing to do lately is probably the ops. I've been playing the game since launch, and I was actually for the longest time not really that deep into the ops side of it. I played a lot of the story, and I think actually just last week, I think I was telling you in Discord chat one time that I've only have, I think, 2 characters that are command rank 300. I go at a snail's pace with this game because I really try to take in, I guess, everything at a just stop and smell the roses type mentality. I used to do like a lot of heroics, and I did a lot of single player stuff for the longest time because when we first started, it was me and my wife and my brother and a few of my close friends. And we just started our own guild, and we just kind of did a bunch of lobby stuff, heroics and things of that nature. But as I've progressed in the game and started doing more of the ops, I found I really enjoy the ops. I enjoy, like, especially, when you have a good team and everyone's kind of, you really see like how the synergies work with a good team and how everyone kind of pulls their weight. And that to me right now is what I'm really digging. Before that, I was really heavy into Starfighter.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that anybody's into that.
Oh no, I still like it. It's just unfortunate it doesn't pop as much as it used to. But one of the guilds I'm in, I usually tweet about them a lot. 13th Legion. We got a few guys that will jump on the weekends. We jump into GSF, and during the weekends is when it pops the most. Like weeknights, I don't get a lot of pops for GSF, but I still enjoy it quite a bit. I really do wish they'd kind of give it a little bit more love, but I know it's not the most popular player versus player aspect, but I do have a lot of fun with it.
Now, do you play a lot of PvP?
I do. I'm not great at it, but I will jump in PvP. And my favorite is Hutball. Love Hutball. And I think I'm probably the only person that likes Hutball.
I don't think so, because Ted and I from the Sotor podcast, and we're doing a 2-part podcast about the new PV, like the pre 5.9.2 and the post. And so I'm actually getting to play it, and it's actually pretty fun. And I had fun with Hutball because there's so many different things you can do, whether it's play defense and just protect the goal. You can, go on the offense and just kill people, or you can just try to, play the ball, the actual game. So right. I think there's 3 aspects of it that you can really enjoy out of it. I enjoyed it. We got to get
Oh yeah, you got to do it. I think, and it kind of harkens back to that kind of synergy thing I was talking about with ops. Is like when you have a good team, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and I think the same can be said about Hutball, is because Hutball, so often you'll get into a group of players that they want to focus on kills, and they'll just kind of sit in the middle and just try to kill each other, and not really. If you do like the objectives and you work as a team and you pass the ball. Don't be the LeBron. You got to pass the ball. But if you pass the ball and you can there's some X's and O's to it that like, I remember the first time I was really like, okay, this is my type of PvP was I guess I lucked into a pre-made of 4 people, and they were like, okay, this is how you need to do it. Just trust us. I don't want to sound like a try hard, but if you do this, it's going to be, be awesome. And I was like, all right, well, I'm a noob at this. I'm a scrub, if you will.
I see what you did.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll, you whatever you want me to do, coach. And sure enough, man, it was so smooth, and like that's how it should have been played. But I like I said, I think a lot of players get caught up in the actual player versus player trying to kill each other and what have you. But I think when you do a proper game of Hutball, it can be a lot of fun.
I bet. I'm really interested in playing. Next time I, get a chance to get onto Sotor for like with Marcus or something, I think we should definitely try to go play.
Yes. I played last night, and I'll probably end up playing later tonight. So we'll have to see.
Marcus just gave me the eye roll, shoulder shrug combo, like step your shit up, let's go play some fucking Hutball.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you've been doing this week.
Well, this week I've been cheating on Sotor a little bit. Unfortunately, but I've been playing a lot of Siege.
Wait. It's not unfortunate. Everybody needs 2 games.
That's true. Well, you just stole one of my points in my show notes.
What do you mean?
I was going to say, this week I'm playing a lot of Siege, and my second sentence is, I think everybody should have a second game that they can just hop into and play without needing to remember much about it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, you really enjoy Siege.
Yes, it's one of my favorite games of all time that's not an RPG. Probably my favorite non-RPG ever.
Right, that's what I mean. So, yeah. And I don't want to say the word mindless,
Yeah, but
But you can just go in, play a match, and then shut it off.
yeah, there's no lore to it as long as you remember the rules. You know what I mean? Like when I hopped on, there was 2 new operators that I had never played with, but I just was like, oh, okay, this one guy scans the area, and this other guy puts up holographic projections. So I'm like, okay, that's it. And then boom, the gameplay is still the same. The maps are the same. They updated a map, but you don't have to play that one.
Holographic projections?
Yeah, so I forget the operator's name because I just hopped on, this week. But I think it's LEB or something like that. But they're Italian. They're supposed to be. And
Do they cook good pizza?
Yes, excellent pizza. One of them is just chiefing a cigar the whole time. I forget what his ability is, but the other one, they have these like holographic projections that are put up. And if you shoot one by mistake, the operator on the other team gets a notification that, or like the whole other team knows where you are. So it's like it gets a notification that, okay, there's boop, you're here because you shot the projection instead of a real person. So people will put them like half behind cover and stuff like that, or like right around the corner. So you'll go, oh shit. And then, it's a projection and then they know you're there. Plus the gunshots and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's an awesome feature.
Yeah.
Because you can really psych somebody out because it looks like a real player.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's epic.
I mean, they're not like super realistic positions. They're like just standard issue, like standing in one spot, but still.
Like Hogan's Alley for the Nintendo?
Yes, exactly. So that was pretty cool. I really like Siege because it's rewarding to get a kill. It's not like Call of Duty where, it's relatively easy to kill people. It's hard to kill people unless you get a headshot. And they can kill you just as easily. So when you do get the jump on somebody, it's really rewarding to actually be like, yes, fuck you. Like, I'm better than you at this game. Unless, something ridiculous happens,
and it's one shot. It's one death per match.
Yes, that's it.
There's per round.
Per round. It's like kind of like paintball, basically. It's 5v5, close quarters combat. And then once you die, you're out for that round. And then there's multiple rounds.
Sure.
I love it. I am looking forward to playing more Sotor, but I don't have a whole lot to report this week. Just been playing a lot of Siege, which has been great. But Marcus, what have you been doing? It looks like you've been playing a bit of Sotor, and I'd like to hear about it.
Actually, well, it's going to seem like I have, but actually the past 2 weeks have been really gaming light.
Yeah.
So baby's coming. Baby boy is coming in October.
What?
Coming soon to a house of near you. No sleep.
Yeah.
So I've been building my kitchen.
Yep.
And preparing for it. So I've been working long nights in the shop, just trying to, get it ready to go and get finished so then I can demo the kitchen and kind of get it because TikTok, it's getting really close.
Yeah, because you want to have that kitchen done before baby boy comes in.
Well, you have to have it done.
Yeah.
You got to warm up bottles. You need fridge and all this. How about just a sink? You're not going to have a sink for a long time.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it today when I was filling up my water jug.
Yeah.
I said, oh, that's a big water jug. That's not going to fit in my vanity sink.
No, it's not, unless you take like a cup or something.
Yeah, that's just
a cup
terrible.
at a time.
You're not filling up 40 ounces of water via a cup.
Yeah, that's like 5 or 6 cups. 5 cups worth. 8 times 5 is 40, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much there. So in game, we last Sunday, Death Star Troopers, we went and saw my homegirl Brontes in Dread Fortress. That is my favorite operation. You get a little bit of everything in it, and I think the challenge is there. Even on story mode, the mechanics make it challenging. I think it's not the Gatekeeper. I want to say Draxus. Do you know, Shad?
It's one of the mini bosses.
No, one of the 5. I think it's boss number 3.
That's what I meant by mini boss.
Yeah.
The non-final boss.
Yeah.
In my head. See,
right.
I'm the new guy to Ops. I've only done like 2 ever.
Boss 3, maybe. Anyways, there's so many ads, and if you don't do things correctly, there's an ability called Mass Affliction. If you mess that up and you don't interrupt it, everybody's dead.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Yeesh.
Night.
I actually have to use the interrupt ability on my...
Well, you won't have to because if you came with us, somebody else will.
Yeah.
But if you had to, we'll make sure we let you know that somebody's got to interrupt that. We can't get it.
Yeah.
Then on last Monday, so let's face it, this week I've done nothing since Sunday. Well, since probably Saturday. I've done no ops, nothing.
Right.
This past week I canceled Fun Feeling Mondays because I was working all night in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
But last week on Fun Feeling Monday, we did Explosive Conflict. We got to the tanks. There's a ton of trash mobs when you're going to the first fight and then to get to the second boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had one or two people drop out, just time restrictions because it's really, casual. So then we went and did EV.
Brian.
What?
You mean Brian? Brian jumped out.
Yeah.
He abandoned us as he always does.
Well, so
he's got an early bedtime. I mean, what can I say?
No, I understand. I just like to make jokes about it because I think, what was it, last week I made the joke that I was like the every time he leaves, I kind of make a scene like the kid from Jurassic Park where like he left us. He left us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's all in good fun though. I love you, Brian.
So if he doesn't, well, I heard if he doesn't get 8 hours of sleep, he turns into a pumpkin the next day.
I heard that too.
In fairness, though, we're coming up on fall, so he should just fit right in. I mean, he should just stay up a little later.
Yeah, he could just, spend a few hours on his front steps. It'll be a fall decoration.
Yeah, exactly.
So then last Wednesday, my sup team, with leading by Jana, we went to Explosive Conflict again, and we got through the minefield after, a few struggles, we'll call it, and the time limit was up for the night. I would say Explosive Conflict on story mode has to be the hardest op in the game. Has to be.
Oh,
Has to be.
Hardest story mode op?
Hardest story mode op. After doing Gods from the Machine, I think Gods from the Machine, once you know the fights, is easier than Explosive Conflict.
Even when you know the fights in Explosive
because
Conflict is harder?
The minefield is random. So you have to unlock these squares that a minefield, picture a minefield, and you have to unlock these squares and somebody's controlling it, but it's random generated, which ones turn green, and you have to kill this like floating droid. And the cast is a cleave, but it hits so hard, and then it's a DPS race to kill it. And if you're not interrupting the cleave, he enrages really fast, like after a minute.
Wow.
And he's got a ton of health. And if you miss one cleave, there goes your tank. Then you miss something else, there goes the rest of the team. It's nasty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nasty. Don't you agree, Mr. Shad?
I do. I think that the minefield's one of the trickier parts, even in story mode. But I would disagree personally that it's hard, that it's not, or that it's harder than Gods from the Machine. I still haven't made it on story mode. I haven't made it past what's the stealth guy, Nahut. I still haven't made it past that guy.
If Death Star Troopers this Sunday has a fill-in, we're gonna take you and I'll take you through it. We'll go do the Gods from the Machine because it took us forever to beat Nahut, and there's a few keys to it that make it easier, and once you learn those, it just gets a little bit better. So as I said, I've been working so much, so this week has been gaming light.
Mm-hmm.
But on Monday night, I said it earlier, I got to record with Ted from the State of the Old Republic podcast. I came up with this 2-part kind of PvP discussion for casual PvPers, and to discuss the differences between pre 5.9.2 and the after. So we did, we played for probably like 3 hours together in a group. And then actually which was Tuesday, man, my days are all messed up. So Tuesday night, later on in the night, when I got home from work, him and I actually played some PvP for about an hour, and we're going to do it again later this week for probably, another 2 or 3 to just see what these changes are. Cause I'm really curious to see, with the hutball changes and all the different maps changes that they made, if it actually changes the way the game is. Mm-hmm. And the big thing I'm looking forward to is the matchmaking changes. They've been, sometimes you queue for PvP and you get 4 DPS on one team and the other team gets 2 healers and 2 DPS. So the healers just heal the 2 DPS through everything.
Right.
And I don't think the DPS can kill the healers fast enough.
Right.
with nobody protecting their back. Mm-hmm. So we got to do that, and, that's a lot of fun. But in my guild that I'm in, AIE, this past week was our Summer of Love. So every year they do the Summer of Love is based off of, the whole premise of it is to remember the people in real life that have passed or are not with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they celebrate for a week in all of the games they play, Guild War 2s, Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, all of Star Wars: The Old Republic, EVE Online. I know I'm going to fix one. Oh, ESO, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
And I know I'm missing some others, but they host all these fun events that, kind of kick off the big event, which is Remembrance Day, which was last Thursday. I mean, I've never seen so many people in one Discord, like a group across all of the games in one Discord. And they're just talking about some of the, a founder of the guild, died at 50, and then, some other people that have, were just great people that they've met, and you create friends through this, and they passed away. And so it's really, it brings the reality to gaming, in my opinion. Yeah. And it kind of just really makes you think. And then you think about like your friends or family members that have passed, and, it's just an awesome thing. And I really enjoy the guild. So that was last Thursday. We got in Sotor, we went to Alderaan on the Jurin Mountains, kind of looks over the city. Don't ask me the city name. And, it's kind of just a really relaxing night. And then we walked from the top of the Jurin Mountains to House of Organa.
Yeah.
And just kind of, tip our caps and all that.
That sounds nice. That's really cool that AIE does that,
Yeah, it's just another thing that the guild does. Every guild is different. I don't think AIE is a guild, but I think it's more of a community.
Yeah.
And they have so many different things that, they
do to bring people together.
Exactly. Yeah. In gaming, I would say it's all based pretty much on MMORPGs.
Yeah.
But there's people that play in AIE games everywhere.
Right.
People are playing Destiny, Siege, God of War, all of these games, Detroit Become Human. But it just so happens that the one that connects us all are all the MMORPGs.
Right. Right.
So then I started playing WoW.
Wait, can you hear this? That was my face palm.
So, all right. So what happened is I accidentally clicked in the World of Warcraft channel in our Discord. And I started reading it, and they're talking about this giant expansion coming and how they're excited for there's 3 new raids or something coming out for it. When they launch an expansion, there's 3 new raids. And they are constantly making this end game content, which I love ops. So I'm like, fuck, I got to try this.
Yeah.
So little did I forget, max level, before the expansion was 110.
Yeah.
Well, starting at 1 to 110?
Yeah, it's going to take you years to catch up.
Exactly.
Even if you only play all the expansions once, it's still going to take you
I can never do it. I'll be dead. By the time I finish this game, because I play Star Wars, right, I'm going to be dead.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So what I'm doing is I downloaded the free trial. You play to level 20 for free, and then you decide if you want to do it. I think what I'm going to do is, if I enjoy it, what everybody suggested is I buy the new expansion.
Yeah. It's
$50. Buy the expansion, and then that unlocks all the rest of the expansions.
Okay.
But you get a 110 token.
Okay, so you get one tune up to 110.
110, and then, you learn that, and you do the new story content, which should take you to the new max level.
Yep.
And then you can jump in on a casual raid team and start to do the end game. But while you're doing that, go backwards.
And play the story content.
And play the story content 1 to 110, and you'll finish it at the age of 53. Right before I die, right? So, yeah, I'm playing WoW.
Wow.
Yeah, you got nothing else.
I got nothing for that.
Yeah, so if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. You can get our Discord information, jump into the Sotor channel. and ask for a guild invite. An officer will get you in, and you can come play with me, Nick, Scrubland Shad, really, and come have some fun with us, especially on Fun Feeling Mondays or when I need fill-in for Death Star Troopers or on Tuesday nights for mandatory fun nights. We just like to have fun all the time. Okay.
Long story short, just come on down.
I like that. So Tuesday, we got our big update, and it just so happened to be on the same day that World of Warcraft released their expansion. We got game up to 5.9.2.
Thanks for the heads up on oh yeah, woo! What up?
Yeah.
5.9.2. And I was gonna say thanks for the heads up on downloading that. It's all queued up and ready to go for me on my laptop.
Yeah, so Nick, you want to take us through the highlights up to where I highlighted?
Sure. So it looks like we've got, obviously, most people know, we've got a new stronghold, the Rishi Hideout. The description says, escape the daily grind of galactic life by traveling to your own personal slice of paradise. This stronghold features multiple customizable structures, a flying patrol carrier, a cliffside apartment, and its own private beach. Plus, for the first time, player versus player gameplay is fully supported inside of the stronghold, allowing for one-on-one, team deathmatch, and even hutball scenarios. There's a new arena in there as well, called the Mandalorian Battle Ring, where you can conquer your foes with the ferocity and skill of the infamous Mandalorian warriors in this new arena. There's also Warzone and matchmaking changes. Numerous improvements have been made to increase the frequency of Warzone matches and ensure that all matches are more fun and engaging. There's a double XP event from 8.7 through 8.19. The popular double XP event is back. Earn double XP, CXP, and more.
Yes. That is the best news ever.
Yeah.
So, Nick, now is your time to play for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Go back to Siege for 2 weeks.
Okay, deal.
Because you have double
XP.
XP. You'll be able to get to your command level that you can start getting gear you can actually use.
Yeah, like anything above like 240 would be great.
Yeah. So now's your time to play.
It also says, when you go through the Cartel Market stuff, in the Cartel Market, a new slot has been added to the featured tab of the Cartel Market. This slot will contain a random item each day, which is on sale for 50% off. There's a countdown timer alongside the item to let you know how long you have remaining on that item's sale. All Cartel Market reputations have been combined into a single reputation called the Underworld Exchange. All items which previously required any Cartel Market reputation will now require Underworld Exchange. All Cartel Market reputation items will now grant Underworld Exchange reputation. All Cartel Market certificates and Underworld Exchange reputation items can now drop in Ultimate Cartel packs. And a large number of collection plate images have been uploaded.
You should really read the last one. It is hilarious.
The body color of female Cathar will now match the selected head fur color as intended. So, yes, they made sure that the carpet does match the drapes.
Thank God. I was really having issues with that.
Well, I've never played a Cathar, so I can't.
Me neither. I haven't.
But you know, I was talking with Ted about this, and you know, this is a pure quality of life. There's somebody out there that has been playing this game for 6 years, playing the Cathar role, and it's really driven them nuts that their head color and their arm color are two different colors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they're probably playing like a naked female Cathar that just wears a bikini. Yep. So they're like, the head is orange, but the body is green.
Right, yeah.
That's not right, you know? So I can
understand the frustration and why that needed to be fixed.
Yes.
For sure.
Something else that I read here was that new featured tab of the Cartel Market. I don't know about you, Shad or Nick. I love it because every day something's going to go on sale. I waited years for the Malgus armor to go on sale. Years.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then I finally got it, and it made me happy. And there's other things that I really want, but that aren't available. Right. So if all of a sudden I see, you know, X is available.
I don't know, like the Revan Reborn armor or something.
I can buy it, and there'll be in 36 hours this deal goes away, or 24 hours, or 5 hours.
Yeah, so now you gotta suck it up and splurge for some more cartel coins or something in that time frame.
Shad, do you buy stuff off the cartel market?
Oh God, all the time. It's funny because there's times me and my wife, like I mentioned, we play Sotor, and there's a lot of times where I see something for direct sale, especially once they start doing the direct sale stuff. I'll be very tempted to go buy coins, but I know I can't get coins if she can't get coins. So I like to pull this little fast one where I come home and I'm like, honey, I got you some cartel coins because I love you. I also got some too because I figured that'd be fair.
Yeah, and you say that second part quiet.
Yeah, just real quick. It's like the terms and conditions at the end of a car commercial.
Perfect.
But I mean,
you can lease the car for $199, but what they're not telling you is there's $400 a month in other charges.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Not including TTL. That kind of stuff.
That was awesome.
So, I love the cartel market. I think it's great. There's nothing on there that gives you a power boost to affect your gameplay. It just makes you look awesome or helps you get your CXP faster.
Yeah.
But it's all.
Yeah, and I think Swotor's done that probably better than just about anybody else in the MMO business. Now, granted, I haven't dipped my toes into WoW for some time, and ESO has something similar with their Crown store. But I think Slotor far and away, like I'm a big Star Wars fan. I think that a lot of the stuff that they're incorporating and the way they're doing the cartel market now, you don't feel obligated to buy anything, even with this new timer on certain things. I don't even think that's more of a you need to buy something so much as it is like we're trying to recycle some old stuff that you don't have access to really anymore, aside from buying the packs. But everything that I've seen in these timed sales is like 500 cartel coins. I mean, that's your subscription right there. So if Darth Malgus's armor pops up you're already paying the 15 months for it. You essentially get it for free. I mean, I think that's awesome. Yeah. Then you get to run around looking like Darth Malgus, or if you get like the vented lightsaber, I don't know if they'll put it up there, but I do think that's a cool thing to do, like those little flash sales, because it'll entice people. Say I wasn't planning on logging into Swotor, but you know what? Maybe I'll just log on real quick just to check. I do think that's a good idea, and if it gets people to support the game by buying cartel coins, I mean, I'm all for it. I was never one of the kind of guys that bought into this notion that the cartel market is evil or it's a greedy money grab. It's like, man, they need to make money. It's a game. Like, they're not doing it for free.
Right.
So, throw the stuff on there. You don't have to buy it. It doesn't affect how quick you level. It doesn't affect how strong you are. It doesn't affect anything except for how you look. Right. And for someone like me, who I like to live my Star Wars fantasy vicariously through my character online, I want to look a certain way. I'm going to go buy that Carillion smuggler outfit.
Right.
I think that's just, they do it just about as good as anybody. And let me tell you right now, the new outfits that they put on the cartel market, I don't know if you guys have seen them yet.
Not like the new ones, no.
The ones they put up yesterday, there's like I can't remember the name of it. Something like a Sith Conqueror suit or something like that. But it is so cool. Like, actually, I think both the armor sets, there's two new ones that at least stuck out to me. And they are so cool looking.
I'll have to go log into Sotor on the break here.
Well, that's it. And the other thing I like about the flash sales are, going back to Darth Malgus armor. What if when the Darth Malgus armor went on sale, you were broke because you just paid your mortgage and all your bills came out and you don't have that extra $20 to spend or $15, whatever it costs.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden a flash sale, boomba.
It's like $7.50 instead of
$7.50 flash sale. It's like the Steam sale.
Right.
How many games do you buy off the Steam sale that you never ever play?
Right.
Oh my God, I still have like 8 that I haven't touched yet from the last one.
I think that's on the lower end of things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know Marcus shared with me his Steam library, and it's like I don't know how many games are in there, say 100 or something like that, and probably 60 of them have never been played.
Ever.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'll play this. I'm going to play this game. And then, this new game came out. I'm not going to play this 5-year-old game when I can play the new game.
Yeah.
Or, oh, wow, this looks great, and I have $5 to waste. How can I waste $5? Steam sale.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing I'm going to point out about the hut ball changes that I thought was actually hilarious
is I'm going to butcher the shit out of this name, but Garada?
Yeah.
Garada the Hut will become bored of a single ball carrier and kill them after 45 seconds, which is down from 120 seconds that it was before. So it makes you pass the fucking ball quickly, it sounds like.
Well, a match is 13 minutes.
That's for all those LeBrons out there.
Yeah, the LeBrons.
Or Kobe's or what? I don't know basketball. I'm not going to pretend to make an analogy here.
You could say Kobe. LeBron's just the one that's playing right now, so I think everyone likes to say LeBron, but Kobe works too.
Okay.
For those of you ball hogs out there.
Yeah. But it's a 13-minute match, and you can hold it for 2 minutes? That's a little ridiculous.
I think, that's a long...
So 45 seconds, I think it's fair. Yeah. I think one of the question hut ball is very, vertical.
Yeah.
I think 45 seconds, you're going to have to pass the ball.
Yeah.
To get to the goal or whatever it is.
I really want to play hut ball now.
We can play it anytime.
It's so fun. It is so fun. I'm telling you, you get a good team. There's legitimately like X's and O's to it. Like, okay, position yourself on that top platform there, and then you're gonna have to go on the underpass, stand next to the ledge, and like if you position yourself. Now, granted, I've been on some teams where they literally it's a bunch of consolers, and they have that pull feature, so they're positioned like at A, B, and C, and then you get pulled to A, then pulled to B, then pulled to C, and then go. And I think that's why they were talking about potentially nerfing that. I don't know if that went through, but I know that was discussed at some point.
Is that the phase walk?
No, not the phase walk, but the one where they pull you out of aggro. They can yank you.
Yeah. Oh, the good old yoink.
So like the yoink. So essentially, if you have the ball, they can yank you to where they are, and then they're still within range of the next person, and they can yank you, and they essentially just yank you to the goal line. So I know that was something that was being discussed at being nerfed or altered in some way in hut ball, but I don't know if that actually was finalized or that went through. I don't know what the status on that was, but it could get pretty ugly when you got a bunch of yoinkers.
Well, so one thing that I am happy with this update is I don't think it's in the show notes, but they're stopping cheating because there was some way that you could get like down on the map before the match started, so you'd be at the points to capture them before the other team is even
on the screen
essentially.
Yeah.
So if you're a cheater, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like stop cheating.
Yeah. Like come on.
Yeah. I hate cheating.
I do too.
Except in paintball because everyone cheats.
But that's a different matter for a different episode.
That's a different conversation. So Nick, you want to take a break?
Yeah. We'll be right back. And we're back. So today we're discussing Twitch streaming and podcasting, as well as the differences and similarities between the two of them. To start us out, Scrubland, why don't you give us the rundown on Twitch streaming? Because neither Marcus or I do it ever.
Okay, so with Twitch streaming, I've been doing it now for about, I want to say 4 months, roundabouts. And initially, what kind of prompted me to start doing it, I was always I'm a big fan of Sotor. And I really get inspired kind of seeing the work from some of the other content creators, you got yourselves included. But I mean, like Utini Cast, State of the Old Republic, Bad Feeling. And this was at a time where I was you kept hearing the kind of the naysaying, like, the game is dead, this and that. And I'm like, the game is not dead. Is the game thriving? Probably not as much as we'd like, but the game is certainly not dead. And there's just all this negative hearsay going around. And I was, and I kept seeing these other content creators and really enjoying the work. And I was like, I should maybe try it. And so I I thought about doing a podcast, but I thought I cannot. I don't think I have the voice for it, which is, ironic considering when I do Twitch stream, I don't use a cam. It's just my voice. But I also know nothing about audio editing. And that was one of the big differences for me is like, I don't think I have the patience for audio editing.
It's really not as bad as you might think.
Well, we're terrible at it. So we do. So
coming from the two that missed a giant chunk of like dead air.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've failed miserably numerous times. And you would think after 20 something episodes, we would have it down pat. No,
not at all.
No. So the new rule is if we record and it's after 11 o'clock at night, we're not editing that day because we're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, because that's like, I think 3 out of the 4 times an episode's gone past 11. Like, that's when we fucked up something in the editing.
Right. But
see, I don't have the confidence to do the editing. I think I would be the guy regardless of whatever time. I would end up probably cutting out something like, "Oh, and we're back, and today we're," so like. Just some kind of like dead silence where I end up cutting out my most important points. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to, and I always liked presenting, I guess. The big thing was I wanted to kind of present my form of play, which it may not be, everyone's liking or whatever. Because one of the things about the game is that it's got these many different facets that, you can do ops, you can do GSF, you can do PvP and all these other things. And I am an altaholic, and I jump on alts all the time. So I like to do a lot of story, and I like to do the heroics, and lots of little things. And I just liked talking Star Wars, and it kind of all culminated when I came to Austin for the South by Sotor thing that Brian and Chuck were hosting.
Wait, so you met them?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I met them and Musco and. Charles and all the whole crew. I met them all. I met Zam, lots of really cool people. And that's when I was like, man, I gotta, I'm gonna do this too. Like, these guys are doing really good work, getting a good voice out there for this game that I love and that I think is worth playing. So I'm the hell with it. I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't do it with the expectation to make it big or anything like that, but because I enjoy the game and I want to share it and enjoy it with other people. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to stream. And like I said, I decided to ultimately stream because for me, it was a little bit easier because I kind of know a little bit more about how to use OBS because a buddy of mine was a streamer. And so he would kind of tell me little tricks of the trade here and there. So I got to where I can broadcast my gameplay and broadcast my audio to a reasonable decibel level and all that kind of good stuff and cut out the background noise. And so, but even then, I think one of my big things is I still get kind of paranoid about it. And I'll be like, hey, guys, if you're watching right now, tell me if I sound all right.
Oh, yeah, but that's normal. That's normal. When Max and Seema do the Escape podcast, in their pre-show, they asked the chat room, hey, do we sound good? How does this sound? How does this sound? Because without those, and they do theirs live, don't forget, they rely on the chat room to say, oh my God, you sound like you're underwater, or hey, you sound too loud. Because that, how many times I've been to some things where the music from the game is so loud you can't even hear the streamer.
Oh yeah.
So it's important to ask those questions. But my first question, after you've said all these things, is if I went to twitch.tv, how could I find you?
I am at twitch.tv/Scrubland Shad, all one word.
And on Twitter?
And on Twitter, same thing. Scrubland Shad, all one word.
Perfect.
Wow, that's nice and easy.
Yeah, we've got stupid convoluted things. Marcus has numbers.
Yeah. Well, so there's always a significance to numbers. So being a contractor and cabinet maker, whenever I meet a customer and they say, oh, my email is, can't wait to be 454633345. at gmail.com, and you're like, well, what are the numbers? Well, this stands for this stands for this, and it always means something.
Yeah.
The numbers always mean something. So,
of course,
my numbers are my the month and year I was married.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
awesome.
My wife
cool.
and I are winners.
I think my favorite email that's like, I was in a group message, I think it was. There was something that got sent to like parents of students in high school or something like that. And one of the emails that they sent it to, which was like the given parent email, was Foxy Lady 358 or something like that.
Yeah.
So imagine you have to give your teacher your mom's email and it's Foxy Lady.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When I used to work at the college campus, I actually got someone, because I used to run a research lab, and I had a student apply for a research assistant position, and instead of using their school email, their email was they call me delicious v2 at gmail.com. So I'm looking at that as the hiring lab manager, and I'm like, this is where I can reach you at they call me delicious version 2 at Gmail.
That's awesome.
But when you think about it, that means someone else had the email they call me delicious. And this guy had to change it to where he put version 2.
New and improved.
Well, I would have hired him just for his email.
Even more delicious.
Even more
right?
delicious.
So
first of all, I love your stream. My favorite is the Friday nights because you do your Republic Ops runs. And Friday nights, I really don't play. I hang out with the wife, but the wife goes to bed really early.
Mm-hmm.
She's in bed, 9 o'clock, 9:30. I stay up until 11 every night. So I'll go up to bed with her probably around 10. Well, I'm wide awake. So what do? I pull out my phone, put on Twitch, and it's like a guarantee there's Scrubs Twitch, I'm sorry. And what's awesome is I can interact with them without making any noise in the room, so my wife
doesn't wake up.
Yeah, so she could sleep. Like sometimes when he starts screaming, he'll start screaming about something on stream, and she'll go, "What was that?" It's just Scrub. He's mad. He died. And she'll be like, she just shakes her head, and she's like, "I'm going back to bed." And she tells me I'm done. So that's first of all. But second of all, your voice is fine. Our voices are terrible.
Yeah.
Well, Nick's is way better than mine. I sound like an underwater mouse.
Well, it depends. If I'm reading something, I can make it sound like acceptable. If I'm just talking, I definitely still sound like a fucking moron.
So
as much as any other guy does.
But
I'm definitely because I think one of the things too is like I think we all want to sound like Chuck from Bad Feeling. Because man, that guy's voice is like peanut butter, man. It's smooth.
Yeah.
And then I hear I'll hear replays of myself and like, well, I'm trying to hit the guy, and I'm like, oh god, oh shit, why?
Yeah, why?
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I'll be laughing at something.
I do find that that was probably one of the other things that I prefer in terms of streaming over podcasting was that I can interact with people. There's been times I'll stream and someone will ask me who's never played the game. They just randomly hopped in my chat and they'll say, "Hey, what is this?" And I'm like, "This is Star Wars: The Old Republic. Gather around, young man. Let me tell you a story." And I do like that because I love putting in my retainer and just being a Star Wars nerd and talking Star Wars or talking video games. And one of the better conversations that I had during a stream when I was playing the Anathema Conspiracy. I was running one of my characters through that flashpoint, and someone brought up roleplay, and we had a very long discussion. I think the whole stream was essentially just talking about roleplay. I don't roleplay with any of my characters, but I do appreciate it because I think it's really interesting to see the stories that people make up for these characters that they create. And I think that's really fascinating and really cool. Like they are weaving this tale for their character to be a part of the Star Wars universe. And just talking and interacting with the chat like that is something I really think you can't get out of podcasting like you can in stream. Or like, when I die and Marcus is like, "You suck, you're awful."
Never say that. I never. Well, actually, I do make fun of you if you die.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he just keeps it
How's the view from the ground up?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a lot of like looking at me down. But I mean, that's in fairness. I prefaced it by calling my stream Scrubland Shad, not Elite Status Pro Gaming. You know what you're getting into. I wanted to make sure that was. It's scrubby. It's bad gameplay. Hopefully, you're just here for the conversation, because if you're here to see if you want to watch like good PvP or something, you are in the wrong place. My stream is like for chatting and rants.
Well, so we feel the same way about our podcast. We don't know who actually listens to it.
Thank you if you do, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, because you might be the only one out there.
Yeah.
But for us, it's just a way for us to have a conversation. So we'll have these epic conversations for an hour on the phone about some bullshit about Star Wars or any video game, and then
movie or whatever the hell
whatever
it happens
is.
to be.
Yeah. And next thing you know, we're sitting in front of a mic, and now we can have this conversation,
right?
Uninterrupted for an hour every week or every other week. But one thing I heard you say is you don't use a camera. How come?
So there's a couple reasons. One, I never really I never, like when I thought about starting this up, I thought, do I want a cam, and where would I put it? And like, I have an overlay for my stream that's pretty big and gaudy because I don't know anything about making overlays. So this one was just kind of this ham-fisted one that I did. So it's like pretty big and just terrible. It's a big eyesore, I'm sure. But
hey, it's yours.
Yeah, it's mine. I created it, and eventually I'll get better at it and make a new one. But I just didn't feel the need to use a cam. I used to back in the day before I started streaming Sotor, I used to stream Magic the Gathering because I would play Magic the Gathering online, and I had a cam then, but I didn't have like a really good one, and I like my computer room to be very dimly lit. So I mean, I have like string lights that I put up, so it was a thing where I didn't want to have to go get like the foil umbrellas to reflect the light at me in a certain way. Like, I felt like it would be more work and it would take away from the gameplay. It's like, just focus on the gameplay, have a conversation with me. People don't need to see, like, if I were playing maybe a horror game or something where like my reaction would be entertaining to see, right, I would probably reconsider. Not only that, I'm trying to get viewers, and I am one hideous looking dude, so I can't, I like legitimately when I used to stream Magic and I had the cam, it was blocking, I think, something that was pertinent to the game. I think like my discard pile or something. So I removed it for a bit. And someone in the chat said, "Hey, what happened to the ogre cam?" And I was like, well, that's the last time I'm using that. That's going to be retired.
Well, that's mean.
That was brutal.
Well, it was
the
person that said it was a buddy of mine. So I didn't take any offense. It was someone I knew personally that was watching my stream. So, I mean, I had a chuckle at it, but that's another thing. I'm not trying to scare off people in the stream. It's like, maybe someday I'll end up doing it when I get a little bit more sophisticated with the stream, because I'm still learning, and I'm still learning new little nuances to the whole streaming thing. So maybe when I, progress a bit, maybe I'll introduce it. But right now, I don't feel it's necessary. Of course, if people started clamoring for it, saying, "Hey, we want to see your ugly face," I would probably reconsider. Because, I mean, I do have a webcam. I just don't ever use it because it's not tippy top of the line, or it doesn't show up in really high quality.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of similar with us. We don't have a webcam. We have webcams on our laptops, but obviously those aren't,
I don't think you need to have a webcam. Yeah. I'm just going to put it out there. I enjoy your stream because of the way you interact. Now, I'm going to get into a little gripe about Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have a camera on yourself. If I sign into your stream, and say, "Hey, how's it going?" in chat, obviously, if you're fighting Nahut and the Gods from the Machine operation, you can't say that. I mean, you may glance down and say, "Oh, holy cow, hey Marcus, how's it going?" Or "Hey John Smith," or whoever it is.
Yeah.
But I've popped into these streams because they were doing a boss fight that I enjoyed, and they were in a break. they're just staring at their screen, talking to people. I said, hey, how's it going? Or good luck tonight, or just letting my presence be known. Crickets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me, dude?
I feel like that's the whole point of a stream. And you're saying the same thing. One of the biggest things you enjoy is interacting with people. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely been guilty of that, I'm sure. But I think that's another reason why I don't want to add another layer like a cam. Is like, I want to build more of a community. Marcus was talking earlier about community and AIE. I think that's important, is that's what kind of also prompted me to say, I want to start streaming Sotor, was when I met the community and Brian and Chuck and Zamzam and Sakari and all these guys that I thought, God, I really like all your stuff. And I really like this feeling of community. And that, I don't think you need to see my face on the stream for me to have a conversation and like connect with you. I think I would become too self-conscious, continually looking at my screen where I have my stream, what it looks like. I'll be like, oh, God, I didn't shave, or, oh, I look like I just rolled out of bed, or, I'd become too, for right now, it's not something that's necessary. I want to be able to pay attention to the chat, because I feel that's important, because I've had similar situations where I'll jump into chat and I'll be like, oh, hey, what's going on? And then, I'd get no response. And it's like, well, yeah, exactly.
Right. And it makes you say to yourself, oh, that's something that I'm not going to do.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely something that, you become self-conscious about. You don't want to do that, because I don't think anyone in any arena wants to be ignored, whether it be in person, online, if you're making a phone call. One of the biggest complaints you ever hear is like, oh, man, I texted you. I know you saw it because it shows me when you've seen it. Why didn't you respond? Like, no one likes to be ignored.
Right.
I definitely try to engage with everybody unless they say something stupid. If you say something stupid or hateful, I'm probably going to ignore you, because I don't have time for that.
You're right, of course.
But if someone's telling me hello, or, oh, hey, you should have done this instead, or, oh, you know what, you could have used that cooldown. You know what? Hey, I'm all for that. I'm all for someone chiming in and telling me, like, I think it was my last stream last week that Marcus was like, oh, no, you guys got to do this because we were at the Underlurker. And Marcus is like, no, you got to bring the ads around to the guy. So I'm like, hey, we got to bring the ads around to the guy. All right, let's bring the ads around to the guy. Yeah, we eventually got through and we finally finished Temple of Sacrifice, but not before wiping 8 or 9 times. But
that's just normal.
Yeah,
You can't get through that op without wiping 1,000,000 times. You'll get it, but it just takes some time. But something funny you did say was the whole iMessage when it says red.
Yeah,
okay?
That's like the first thing you turn off when you get an iPhone.
Our old guest, my cousin Nick's sister, Ari.
Oh, yeah.
She purposely has it say that. So when somebody's like, aren't you listening? And don't you hear me? It shows that she read it. She's basically just saying, fuck you to that person. I just don't want to answer you. I see it, but I'm not answering you.
It's the most gangster approach to the red thing I've ever heard of.
Exactly.
I was like, I think I told her one day, I was like, hey, you have the red on your phone, the read thing or whatever the hell it's called. And she was like, yeah, I know. It's so that when I ignore people, they know I'm ignoring them. I'm like, wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that can like lead to, I don't know, like me and my wife, we have it on our phones. And I remember one time I was somewhere and I texted her and it showed that she saw it. And I'm like, okay, I really need an answer, because I think it was something like I needed to buy something at the store. Couldn't remember what. So, hey, honey, what do you think? And it shows that she read it. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I guess the paranoid conspiracy theorist in my mind started going, my God, she's been kidnapped. Like, because she doesn't just ignore me. Even if she's mad at me, she'll respond. So I'm like, my God. Someone's looking at the text I'm sending my wife. They've got her. Like, so I started turning into Liam Neeson. I'm like, if you took my wife's phone, you son of a bitch, you better give it back, kind of thing. And then my wife was just like, no, I just had the chat open, but I had the phone on the countertop because I was cooking, you jackass.
Oh,
I was like, oh, so do you pick up the milk?
Well, back to Twitch streaming. How can you as a Twitch streamer and Nick and I as podcasters gain more followers? Would you say it's more just keep creating content and people will find you? Do you think paying a service to promote your podcast or Twitch stream works? Or is it just be more involved in a community to get you to be noticed?
So personally, I think it's a little bit of all three. You could absolutely pay to advertise, but I think, you guys have probably heard the old saying that the best advertisement is word of mouth.
Yep.
So, that's when I started to, like I said, when I first started to set out, I was like, what I'm going to do. And this is something that I'm, going to do. And I want to, kind of not build like a fan base, but build a community. Like, so that way it behooves me to communicate with these people, and that's like build a community so they can say, yeah, no, it's a cool stream, it's a cool place to hang out and chat and talk Star Wars or Sotor, and if you want to jump in an op with me, that's an option type thing. I think that's the most important kind of thing. Like every Twitch streamer that I've ever seen that's interviewed that's made it big, they always say the same thing, is that the best thing you can do is just be consistent, is just continually put or content out there, continually, and just keep at it. And it'll eventually snowball and it'll become bigger and bigger if people are digging what you're doing. In my case, I try to do it every Mondays and Fridays. I'm still debating whether or not to add an extra day in there. Maybe Wednesday for guild shenanigans. I'm not too sure, because like I said, I still gotta like get the do stuff with the wife, and I still like to go and play Magic the Gathering. So it's trying to balance everything out. But I am thinking of adding a third day, just to kind of get myself out there a little bit more. But also, just being active in the community. Like I take parts in conversations on Twitter. That's how I met Marcus. Take parts in the conversations on the forums, go to Reddit, like you're a part of this community. And whether you stream or your podcast or you don't do either, like I think that's the kind of camaraderie you need in that community, though, so that you build something substantial.
Oh, I agree. And if you decide to do another night, you should I would love to watch you play through a class story, because when Nick's best friend in the whole wide world, fathead Darth Barris,
fucking tuna can Darth Barris,
is being a douche, I would love to hear what your reactions for that. And I'm not telling you how to run your stream.
No, that's actually something I've thought about doing, is doing a class playthrough. I watch Chill do his from time to time, and it's so fun to see the different choices people make with their characters and how they kind of branch them out into this story that's been laid out for them. And I do enjoy watching class. So I thought maybe that's something that, like especially with the tangents I go on and the rants, I'm pretty sure I'd have a lot to say about certain aspects of the story. Sure. And choices, so it's definitely something I've considered.
I will say, though, the difference for me for Twitch streaming and podcasting is Twitch streaming, you need to be more consistent. You need, like you said, Mondays and Fridays are your night. Guys like me, how about perfect example is Nick. He moves to Austin. Yeah. He doesn't stream for 3 weeks. Every Friday I'm like, stream on, ? Stream on. Even though I probably knew it wasn't. Right. I was just like, what am I going to do tonight when I'm laying in bed at 10 o'clock at night and I got nothing to do? Because there's nobody, if Dr. Sotor's streaming, okay. Yeah. But the likelihood that he is at the same time that Scrub is, is not the same. Right. So I'm like, man, I look forward to it. Right. Where podcasting, Nick and I have been doing it every 2 weeks, and then we did it every week for
like a month.
Yeah, a month. And going back to the every 2 weeks,
we're like, fuck.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
This break is terrible.
Yeah. So, maybe we'll do more random 1 week intervals and then go to 2 weeks and kind of play it by ear. But my point I'm trying to make is I feel like Twitch is more, you have to be more consistent.
Yeah, because you can't, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't really record like a Twitch stream, right?
No, we could.
You? Oh, you can?
If we could do our podcast live and then put it to podcast world after we record it.
No, what I'm saying is like, if as a viewer, if you want to catch somebody's stream, you can't like go back and watch it later.
Yes, you can.
Oh, you can?
I think
Yes.
it's a checkbox.
Yeah, Twitch will actually let you archive your streams for something like, I think, 13 days or 7 days, something like that. So let's say I stream on Friday and you weren't there to watch it live, but you want to watch it on Monday. It should still be there on Monday. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly how long they hang around for.
Okay.
I've also I went out and bought a capture card. So what I'm considering doing is recording the streams and then kind of chopping them up. But then again, this goes back to the whole editing thing, and I'm not confident in that aspect yet. But start uploading them to YouTube.
Right.
But the Twitch will let you save your streams for a few days.
Right. I guess my point sort of kind of still stands that, with a podcast, if you, I don't know, go on vacation and you don't have cellular internet access which I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, but say you just, for whatever reason, don't have access to a podcast for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, you can go back and listen to them. Whereas a Twitch stream, even, if it's 13 or 14 days or something like that, if you miss the window for whatever reason, you're not going to see that stream for that week or something like that.
Yeah.
With Twitch, I feel like the whole fun of Twitch is being live.
Right. I agree.
And for me, it's jumping in the chat room, making fun of Scrub because he's upside down because the boss killed him.
Right.
And saying, dude, come on. You're standing in the purple. Don't stand in the purple circle.
Or, hey, see the giant lightning? Don't stand in the giant lightning. I think I wasn't streaming that night.
Exactly. But that's, I think, what makes Twitch so much fun.
Right.
And there's people doing it all over the place.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun to do a Twitch stream.
Well,
I just don't have the resources.
So, Scrub, tell us
now.
again how we can find you on the socials and on Twitch.
I am on Twitter at Scrubland Shad, and I am at Twitch at Twitch TV /Scrubland Shad.
Awesome.
And
Thanks I have a
so
YouTube
much.
channel.
Whoa, you do?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like I said, I do. It's got nothing on there just yet, but I did make it just so I can start getting those videos up there, and it's the same thing, Scrubland Shad.
Awesome. So people can go subscribe in anticipation of your videos.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Check him out, please. The Friday nights. What time do you stream on Friday nights?
Friday nights is 9 Eastern. No, 9 Central. Excuse me, 9 Central. I get my Easterns and my Centrals mixed up, but 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, if you guys join him on Friday nights, most likely you'll see me pop in there and talk a bunch of smack. Thanks so much, Scrub.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.